What's up guys, it's Trevor with Embers. Today we're showing you the brand new Flare Fireplace. We just installed this bad boy in our showroom. A lot of people ask us about our luxury frameless fireplaces. We have the Ortal, we have the Flare, we have the Heat and Glow Primo here on display. Today I'm going to tell you what advantages Flare has to offer, go through some of the features, some of the cosmetic options, some of the install questions that a lot of people have, and hopefully that helps you out to decide which luxury fireplace you need. So let's start with sizes, openings, glass height, that type of thing, so you understand what your options are. So Flare comes in a 30-inch, as narrow as a 30-inch, as wide as a 100-inch. Now, if you need something bigger than a 100-inch, well, one, that's big, but two, we can start coupling units together. So that is an option with Flare, which is pretty unique. This guy right here, I believe is the 45-inch. And just so you know, for sizing at home, the 45-inch, like on an open corner like this, is gonna be the inner layer of glass. So corner to corner on the 45-inch is actually bigger. So we're at 50 inches here, all right? And then your finishing material is gonna be more like 52. So that's a little tip if you're doing this at home, trying to figure out sizing. Especially if you're doing open corners, it's gonna end up bigger than the size that you go with. Now here, we do have the 24-inch glass height. So this comes as short as 16, it's gonna be right there. We could do 24, or we can do 30. Now, what's cool about the 30-inch is if you wanted more of a traditional shape, everything they offer is fairly linear. But we can do the real short units with the tall glass, and that gives you more of like a square-shaped firebox. We can do a single-sided, where it's a flat front and the walls are enclosed on the side. You can do an open left corner or an open right corner, or you could do it like we have it here, the three-sided double corner opening. Or another option is we can do the pier model. So instead of long ways three-sided, it's gonna be short ways three-sided. Am I saying that right? It's gonna like come out into the room this way, and you'll have like a peninsula style like that. So those are your install options. Now, as far as what we can do on the inside of the fireplace, this is their sort of burner in log option. With, you can see we kind of have like the volcanic stones with the driftwood log set, and what's really cool is the flame or the burners actually built into the logs. So that's where our visual flame is coming out of. I think that this burner specifically is helpful with the taller glass, because this is the 24-inch glass height. My tip would be to you at home is if you're doing the 24-inch glass, and if you just did the flat burner, those flames are probably gonna sit another 6 inches lower, and it's not gonna make the firebox look very full. So if you're gonna do the 24-inch glass, I would do the fire and log burner kit for this guy. Also has the black reflective panel in the background, which I think is a no-brainer. That really adds a nice cosmetic appeal. And then if you're doing the 16-inch, you can do a super modern burner where you could do like just straight crushed glass with the ribbon burner coming out of the bottom. That'd be for a super contemporary look. And then we can do multicolor LED lights. They're gonna shine through the bottom as well. There's also two different ways we can order the front. So this is the safety screen model. All right, this is gonna be the more affordable option, but you are gonna have these black bars, you know, for the screen frame. Now, there's pros and cons to the screen option. One is the screen option, you are gonna get some radiant heat off the front of this. So you are gonna get heat into the room when we do this, and then also the safety screen option is more affordable. And I probably shouldn't even show you this, but they do uninstall relatively easy without any tools. Of course, you only want to pop these off for cleaning. So when you do the safety screen model, it is easier to maintenance this guy because you don't have a second layer of glass. So the pros to doing the double glass unit are, it's just a cleaner overall look. There are several negatives to it. One, it's harder to maintain because you have multiple layers of glass to take off. They're frameless, easy to break. No heat coming into the room at all with the double glass option. And then there's blowers that are blowing cool air in between the two layers of glass to keep the glass cool with the touch. So it's more expensive and it's higher maintenance, which are both pretty big negatives. So we actually sell the safety screen model more just because it's easier, more affordable, more efficient, that type of thing. And we do get a little bit of heat into the room. As far as cool wall, things like that, this wall always stays cool to the touch, so TV and artwork is no problem there. Also does come with remote control, so we can turn the flame down on the remote, and we can put it back on high, just to show you the high setting. But let me show you the really unique thing about this fireplace that makes this fireplace really cool. This is gonna sound crazy, but in 2025, homes are built so efficient that people want gas fireplaces, but they don't want them to heat. Isn't that crazy that we're saying that these days and we're selling gas fireplaces that don't heat on purpose? Because it's just too much heat. So what's really cool is a lot of fireplaces either all heat or no heat. Like that's just the way you get it. And you can't toggle back and forth. What's really cool with these guys, they have what's called a summer kit. So let's turn that on. Now we have it installed here so people can feel it. But this is basically an external fan that's gonna suck heat from the fireplace. And this would go on the outside of your house and just dump heat outside. So we can turn our summer kit on and off for literally when it's summertime and we don't want any heat. However, in the winter time, when you want heat, you just pop that bad boy off, bada bing, bada boom, you got heat into the room. So again, that works better with the safety screen model. So one of the biggest questions we get with luxury fireplaces like this is, unfortunately, there's a lot of brands to marketplace, and we see this with all of our products, not just luxury gas fireplaces, but there's too many brands in the marketplace. And what it does is it creates a lot of product overlap and a lot of product confusion. That's why these videos are helpful, is I can tell you what you need and what you don't need. Probably the biggest question we get with Flare is going to be, what is the difference between Flare and Ortal? Those two are probably closest together. Now, Ortal is very unique in the fact that they are made and manufactured and ship out of Israel. The only other fireplace brand I know that is made and manufactured in Israel and ships out of Israel is these guys right here. I'll leave that to you to connect the dots, but somewhere along the line, I think that someone broke off somewhere, and I don't know the exact details, so I'm not gonna make any accusations. All I know is these fireplaces are pretty stinking identical, okay? Few features that Flare has that Ortal does not, though, that is important to touch on. One is the summer kit, all right? That is not available on Ortal. Another thing is it's not shown here, but it's gonna be the LED light kit on the bottom. That also is not available on Ortal. So if you like the multicolor LED lights or the summer kit, I probably am gonna direct you towards a Flare product over an Ortal. Now the other thing is we are in the Denver metro area. We are one of the few dealers that display Flare and Ortal and Primo, and we're also a Stellar dealer. So if you're in the market for like a frameless luxury gas fireplace, you need to go no further than Embers Living here in Denver. We're the one-stop shop for all luxury gas fireplaces. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time.